way you could bring like a haircut, your haircut stuff, dude, to give them a little touch up, man, would be nice, man.
After I leave Sinkay's house, I'll go out to go see him.
Damn, timely. The camera looks much better though.
Robbed? Is there a stick up? What's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna wait for the recording to start to go.
He's hiding from the fantasy guy. Yeah. Man. He's angry. He's upset them.
I'm saving that for the pod.
You reap the fruit of your selfish ways. You gonna lose all your fancy foosball games.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't have too many notes.
The Sugandee Scum game, did that come down to that last drive?
Came down to the last drive.
Last I checked, Scum was winning as I was walking out, and then the game went fine. I'm like, when the fuck did Stafford hit double digits?
A couple of Purganakua shots, probably, huh? Quentin Johnson or not? Robinson.
Oh, that throw to Demarcus Robinson. Did that?
Demarcus Robinson. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Well, that's what did it tonight, but really poor roster management throughout my season. Emblematic of my roster this weekend is what really did me in. Bo Nix. Come on, man.
Nick, Sinkay, me, and Emmett. That was some terrible fantasy football to watch.
But at least it wasn't Joe Woomy who put up 58.5, I think, for.
I really wanted to ask him what was tense. The booty hole wasn't tense. Where was that Joe last week, man? What did he put up on me? Like 140?
Yeah.
Motherfucker put up 50 points this week.
Hey, at least you didn't start your week with a 57.5 point butt ripping. Just
NJC, like you really spoke that into existence, man. I know you probably don't even see what you did wrong, but
I know what I did wrong. I already had the lineup that would have won it, and I switched it.
It's not the lineup, man. You angered the fantasy gods.
This is a perfect time to just roll into it the way it's rolling. This is the Any Given Sunday podcast. It's the Week 10 recap. I'm Rebel Scum, no time champ, joined by a bunch of champions on here. First off, the young blood. What's up, Sugandis?
What's going on? What's going on?
Maybe the ugliest one of the season. Congratulations on that.
Only to be outdone by his hairstyle tonight.
Damn.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
It's an off day. Didn't leave the house. I come on and.
Oh, it was the holiday. Okay.
Well, maybe we haven't been able to see you in 4K all season, so now maybe we're just getting a glimpse of what you really look like.
Should I go back to the bad lighting?
It's just
you know what's Sinkay?
The even all around. Just give me the even all around.
It looked good in person during the parade, Sigandies. That's all that matters.
Come back to the hood, Sinkay. We can't go to Supercuts, bro. Come back to the hood.
Oh shit.
You've been gone for too long, man.
Oh man. Speaking of Supercuts and sprints from SoFi Stadium, Kamish, hot off the Dolphins-Rams game. Look at you.
Hop off, man. It's Veterans Day. Our hometown heroes. I snagged a couple of these for our military friends. Happy Veterans Day. God bless Puka Nacua. I'm honoring that hero tonight for bringing me that victory.
Well done. That's a sick flag, man. That's a nice giveaway. I like that. Quan, what's cracking?
What's up? Quan in the house. Oh, man. High score 3 weeks in a row. It's feeling good.
Wow.
Not bad.
Congratulations.
Nothing like Quan talking about himself. Hey, Quan, thank you for the tickets. My kids are assholes and they didn't even appreciate it. But I also have one of those flags. I have one of those flags for you.
Nice. I'll take it to work. I'm sure all of my coworkers who are rejuvenated with patriotism once again will love that flag.
You can hang it right next to the MAGA flags.
Oh yeah, they'll love it.
By the way, no one comes on sounding with less enthusiasm than Quan when he's trying to talk about his highest score of the week. And the highest score of the week. Real good. Thank you. Peace, love, unity, the Quan. Come on, man. Where's the energy at, man? And speaking
the Quan's been talking about high scores for so long. He wants to talk about chips, not high scores.
Oh.
I just want to, the commissioner's right. It's all about what happens in the end. But
pause.
Yeah. But BC was talking about my scoring pattern before we played, and so
Hey, well, let me get the introduction in. Speaking of when keeping it real goes wrong, we have on the podcast tonight the Shadow Man, Bane of the Fantasy Gods. Yeah, he's doing something here.
Guys, there's a war going on outside that no man is safe from. Yeah, I was trying to run, but I couldn't hide forever. I was.
Is that the Supreme Gimp costume that Jamal makes you wear for him?
No, I found this at Diddy's house next to the 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Oh my God!
No, I wore this shroud because I was robbed this week, boys. I robbed myself. I knew that every time Kyron was about to get the ball, nice little dump off, tip. Oh, here's a ball. First down flag. I was like, okay, I did it. I stepped in some fantasy god caca.
That had to be hard to watch, man. I mean, Kyron going up against a kicker, you take Kyron 99% of the time.
Amazing.
And with like a 4-point advantage. Yeah. So it is what it is, boys.
It is fantasy football. And just for the viewer out there, going back to last week's thread, Thursday Night Football, NJC put out there, I wish tonight's TNF matchup was a part of last week's games. It's going to be...
I had to be tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know if that was a Star Wars.
About Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, but you and me, BC. I appreciate.
I don't know if that was a Star Wars voice changing filter, but there was a lot of zest in that feedback. I could barely make it out.
That was a zesty thing to say. In fact, suggesting that this week's matchup wasn't worth the piss coming out of your dick.
It's crazy. It's really crazy that, and even Lou can attest. And Lou, we always go head to head on the podcast. You knew 100%. Pause. You knew 100% that comment in no way, shape, or form had any ill intent towards the curse. You knew what it meant, but it came out, and the peanut gallery turned it into peanut butter.
And he put the curse on you, man.
Yeah, he sure did. And he was like, "Oh yeah, my bad on the gift." I was like, "Yeah, dick face."
Too late.
Well, it's the way that it was said, and we are. What'd you call me on the side text, NJC? What was it?
I don't remember. I have a humble. I'm in a humble mode. I can't.
It was something about me hopping on that and twisting it. Let's see. You called me the. Yeah.
Hey, while we're trying to figure out.
Oh, the pot stir. The pot stir.
Oh, yeah, you are the pot stir. While we're trying to figure out what you were trying to say, I was hoping Sinkei was going to go get a haircut, but it was okay.
God damn, man. For the only guy on here with actually a good head of hair, we're just slaying into this motherfucker.
I know. That's why it should always be perfectly coiffed. When you're lucky to have a nice young head full of hair, you need to go get coiffed. But I will say thank you and congratulations for understanding what pixels and 4D and 1080 HK is, because your camera is immaculate.
Well, I knew I didn't have to. Wait, were you saying, Frogs?
No, I'm just saying that back to the hairline real quick. We've been there, right? Where that one side starts to dip back a little further than the rest. So, like, this is what the future This is what's coming, Zinke. I had that before. I had the full head, and then like right.
You
here,
know what that is, Zinke? You know what that is on that side? That's called the girlfriend. The girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'll fly to Turkey and get a transplant before I ever go bald.
Hey, no, some advice that somebody gave me that I ignored.
Please,
if you do see that it thins out, just start taking like those Hims pills, because
That's what I just.
they don't grow it back, but they keep whatever you have. So if you see it getting thin, just do that.
I'm a new subscriber of Hims.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not just for the hair growth.
NJC is a longtime member. He's not only a member; he's the president.
He gets the hair. He gets the
Hims
hair.
and
He gets the
shims.
combo pack. Don't you get the combo packs, okay? You're giggling because you know. I'm not going to put you on blast on YouTube, but I know you get the combo pack.
NJC.
You know what Hims is?
No, it's Chims.
No, Hims.
Shims.
Shims. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
That's funny.
BC, does Voodoo have a matching Supreme Gimp suit?
It's child size.
I see like Jamon, like what are those things, the little yellow things, and they all bow down to Steve Carell's character, the animation.
Oh, Minion.
Oh, Minions.
Minions, yeah, you're like little Jamon Supreme black minions.
No, you listen. Bathe me in jokes and humiliation. It's gonna baptize me by the fantasy gods. This is my punishment, please.
Well, hey, since we're already talking about humiliation, let's really talk about your game here for a second. Thursday actually did get off to a hot start. Lamar Jackson, your boy, the MVP, 45 points. But it was almost like it was inconsequential. Jamar Chase, game of his life, 57.5. Jesus Christ. Did you immediately regret the message on the thread after that, or was it just more of a slow burn over the weekend?
I'll be honest. I really did not intend for that message to be like a violation, but apparently it was.
I think the problem, NJC, is that like you've preached trying to be humble, but it's been a fake humble. Like the fantasy gods are looking for sincerity in the humbleness, not just talking about being humble on the podcast.
Got you.
Fumbled.
Anywho, so I was less
a punching bag today.
That's okay. Now I know what it feels like to be a married man.
I hope Jake Paul looks like that on Friday.
Oh, he'll be wearing two of these. So I was less upset about what Jamar Chase did. I mean, it's to be expected. T. Higgins is out. Gesicki wasn't getting the ball. What was really eating at me was
just to be expected. 57 points.
I mean, no, I'm just saying. Of course, nobody expects a 60 burger, but I expected him to just eat, because if you look at his points, the last time he played the Ravens, he put up a 40 burger. So I was expecting him to do something decent.
Yeah.
But what was really eating away at me was the fact that I miscalculated what I thought the Ravens' run defense was and put Dobbins in the flex instead of putting Chase in. And Chase ended up putting up 13 more points than Dobbins. So that's really what was eating away with me more so at the weekend. And then obviously Calvin Ridley catching 2 touchdowns in that game against the Chargers, watching those 23 points go up. I mean, that was pretty painful. But no, man, I mean, you know, I angered the fantasy gods and I lost myself the game. So, you know, I need to take Frog's advice and work on some authentic humility.
I mean, the fantasy gods showed out in rare form. Joey had a defense with -1 points. He had a running back with 0 points, and his third highest scorer was his kicker tonight that came through with
15 burger.
You mentioned it, man. You came into Monday Night Football with what, a 4-point lead, Kyron Williams going up against Miami's kicker, and somehow the gods awarded it to Joey
with a 1.5 kiss.
With a 1.5 kiss.
Yeah, baby, that was poetic.
No, but you know what? I mean, I say it from time to time again. I take my L's like I take my W's. Obviously, it's easier to take a W than an L, but I mean, you gotta stay humble. You gotta stay, you gotta stay on your toes. So Good win to the curse, and we'll see, man. Fuck.
I mean, Kurtz had to pull it all out, right? He had Charbonnet on a bye, Josh Jacobs on a bye, Kenneth Walker on a bye, Amari Cooper hurt, Mike Evans injured, 0 points on his bench. He needed everything he got to beat you.
And the funny thing is, we saw that play out on the. And the thing is, I was trying to be humble, and here's how I know, like, I really must have really messed up because I wanted to make a joke about all the damn drops and starts that he. And I was like, nah, let me just not anger the fantasy guys. But they were like, we already married, Pip. You might want to say something. So, it's all good.
Well, you've been leaning on your running game all season, and they just came up short this week, man. I mean, no starting running back out of the three with double digits this week.
Well, I mean, and that's a good point. No starting running back that I played had a touchdown this week either. So rare thing. Again, I like, if I'm gonna take losses, I'd rather get them out the way in the season. So I just gotta really focus on the future and just hope that I mean, you know what? The last thing I'll say, we can pass the torch to another thing. I learned a lot this weekend. I learned that J.K. Dobbins is great when Gus Edwards is on IR or not playing. Gus the Bus.
Wait. J.K. Dobbins is better when he doesn't have to share the rock with somebody else?
Yeah, it's called obvious. So, but I thought they were going to ease. I thought they were going to ease it in. I thought they were going to ease Gus in, but they just let Gus bust.
Right.
Yeah, come on. There it is. I gave it to you.
Busted.
Pass it.
Let's talk about the significance of this win.
Yes.
So now Joey goes to 7-3, tied with NJC at 7-3, but owns the tiebreaker, which is going to when it comes down to that second, or when it comes down to a bye week, that's going to be pretty significant.
We also got Truth at 7-3, Sugandee's at 7-3.
Man,
yeah.
So, NJC definitely needed that win to stay atop of the league as he's been all season. So it was a significant win for the curse, and now puts everybody back into play.
Yeah, man.
Well, from NJC's mouth to the fantasy god's ears, he said, "I don't like the bye week," and they said, "Well, nigga, you're not going to get a bye."
Hey, again, man.
I'm mad at myself for I haven't had time to do that study, that comparison but
you're a busy man, Quan.
Man.
I did the Henry report within 24 hours, but you're much busier than me.
He's a very, very busy guy with very early meetings.
I'm telling you, man, the rate of reading is a little bit different, probably the process. Sorry, Quan.
That's
as
long as I'm one of the six, bro. As long as I'm one of the six, man. That's all I can ask for.
NJC, I do want to move on to the matchup with Sugandee's because that was just as meaningful as your matchup here. But this is the kind of loss where you really did make the right calls just on paper, analyzing the roster. And, you say you're going to be more focused going forward. I mean, in a sense, when you put this roster in, you probably felt like you were pretty locked in and focused. And then fantasy football happens. How confident do you really feel going forward?
I mean, that's a good question. I think that I can only be as confident as I am as a person. But as far as my roster, I mean, we call it any given Sunday for a reason, man. So all I can do is try to look at matchups and try to, manage all the controllables. Everything else is going to happen the way it is. So again,
you sound like a politician that got caught with his dick in a tranny's asshole.
Okay, I appreciate that. But I think that what most of us are doing is sharpening our rosters for the later part of the season. So just understanding, certain dynamics. That's the only thing you can do when you take an L. So
you know what,
thanks
NJC,
for the question.
You mentioned on the thread tonight that you got cursed, and it's the curse of the back-to-back, man. There's only one franchise that's been able to accomplish that, and you just gotta understand that it's not going to happen for you.
Thank you for the doubt. That just reactivated me. Like as soon as you said that, I puckered and got a charge. Pause.
Say this for an owner whose words get twisted on the thread quite often. I don't really think that you disrespected. Look, all praise to the fantasy gods. I definitely try to stay humble and not disrespect the fantasy gods and just be overly ridiculous. But honestly, I don't think that I don't think it was that bad. All you did was talk about I know that last matchup was still really fresh, and then they turned around and played again on a Thursday night. So it's still Burrow versus Lamar was still fresh in everybody's heads. But
everybody.
Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate you understanding where it came from. But
yeah, I can understand. I don't really. So all of this, I don't really. I think you just hey man, it didn't swing your way this game, man.
But to that point, NJC was right. Joe Burrow 51 points, Lamar Jackson 45 points. It was epic. Mm-hmm. One of the best Thursday night games. It was a 35-34 game. I think the problem is, and thank the podcast for keeping this on record, is it's focusing on these big games and overlooking opponents, and that's all it was. It was like you're still thinking about Quan when you need to be laser focused on the curse, who's not a shabby opponent.
No, that's fair. Humility, boys. It's hard to take an L like that, man. That's a unmitigated. That's like going for your 45th or whenever you got to take it up the yin yang, and he's like, you know what? Everybody else, I put some lube on my finger. Right now, fuck you, no lube. That's what that was.
We haven't seen cocky NJC since that long essay week 3 in a minute.
Uh-oh. That whole lube, no lube, is that something that's big in the tranny hunting community?
I don't know, man. Again, I don't know how these rumors get started, but I'm not the person who has experience in the tranny community. Maybe we should invite a special guest who has that experience to come on and dictate.
That costume says otherwise.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say the testicles in the bikini say otherwise.
Hey, Scum, how come that didn't make the pod last week? I was fully expecting to see it, and then a ruler pops up.
I don't know if the timing was off. I don't know when I got sent that photo.
Thank you. No, Nick, you bailed me out, man. I'm glad that there was no lump crab.
I sent that picture 5 minutes after we wrapped on the pod.
Oh, okay, that's right. You did.
There was no knuckle. Yeah. There was no lump crab meat. Knuckle crab meat on the pod. Thank you.
I don't know. I should try. I don't necessarily want to have to look at it again, especially like on a big TV screen. But maybe I should test YouTube censorship boundaries with something like that and see. Wait.
So come on, guys. It was really that bad.
It looked like 2 big Carls.
Much respect to the LGBTQ plus community. So very
Mayor Lewis running for office in Florida.
Very lovely community that we support 100%.
Wait, can I ask you guys a question? Did you guys like scream me in the game when Matthew Stafford overthrew Kyron for the easiest touchdown of his life? Did you guys see it? No. Okay.
No.
Once again, NJC.
Lou, that was brilliant. I don't know how you managed to pull that off, say it the way you say it, and just like move right along. But that was some epic shit right there. 1.5 swing, Sugandhi's ugliest win of the week. I know you must have been nervous, but also grateful that you were playing an opponent who had no idea, had no nuts. Didn't want to pull the trigger on a Bo Nix versus the Chiefs, or do something wild like that, man. Congratulations to you. I can't ever beat you. I can't remember the last time I beat you. It's been, I don't know, maybe never.
Yeah, that was the stressful one, man. It's hard to watch a game when you have my quarterback year wide out playing And every pass, you just have to hold your breath and like hope that Cooper Kupp isn't getting it. But yeah, no, to your point, it would have taken some huge nuts to start Knicks over Daniels, and glad you didn't have him this Sunday. So thank you.
Rarely do.
You're not the only one who benched a Bronco, right? I made the mistake of benching their defense against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I think Quan said it, man. They have destiny on their side. It's hard to start anybody against or to root against that kind of team.
Mhm.
You did start your Bronco Javonte Williams, and I want to take back all the praise that I gave him a couple weeks because he put up one.
Yeah. No, fuck that guy, man. I have ridden that fucking train for too long. It went nowhere. I got 23 points a career game out of him. That might be the best game he ever has in his career. But you know what? Thin at the running back, and that goes all the way back to my draft day regrets, of which I have many. And that effectively sets me up. The cool thing about it is that there's really no pressure to try to make a playoff now. Now it's like, hey, can I try to win a consolation, which is relatively comfortable space for me. So,
hey, playoffs is not out of the picture yet, Scum. I want to point out that NJC is on a 2-game losing streak. And just look at this world. NJC loses out. Right? He's wearing this costume every week. He loses out. You win out. You and NJC have the same exact record.
Yeah, but he blew me out. I still have lapse.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of football left, and let's see how angry the fantasy gods are.
What NJC? You got to talk right now, or else we're not seeing this picture of Cheech from Cheech and Chong.
That's how you look, CK.
That's definitely going to be the image of the week right there.
Send it.
Family friendly.
Oh wait,
He's Chicano legend Cheech Marin.
I need my beanie.
I got a question for you, Scum.
Hey, go put a beanie on, bro. Like,
did you happen to see the footage
right now?
Scum, did you see the footage of your wide receiver Deebo Samuel slapping his long snapper?
Dude, it was a double slap. It was like one of those. It was a twofer.
I have not seen that. What happened? He's
a team captain and obviously one of the stronger players for the Niners, and he was really upset with their special teams unit. I think they missed 3 field goals, and he took that anger out on the long snapper and smacked him up on the sideline. It was interesting to see.
Dude,
he should have smacking Jake Moody.
Walked up and in one swoop smacked both faces. Long snapper, bam, and then the kicker, bam. It was a double smack, and then walked away.
Truly embracing his Debo nickname.
It's my body.
You haven't seen it. It is big on the internet.
I'm gonna need to check that one out, man. That's pretty epic. The double slap with anger, out of anger, like not even like a what's up, just like a reach back and smack these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Moody missed 3 field goals, bro. I mean, he made it when it counted, but he missed 3 field goals.
It's the smack and then just the look of just disgust. Like just do your job, special teams.
It would have been nice if he could have done his job and got 20 more yards.
You guys condone that though? I think it was a little uncalled for though, to be honest.
No, it's hard for you to wear the C on your chest and be smacking up.
Yeah,
that makes like minimum wage in the NFL.
Right, the long snapper.
That's what I got. Like he didn't even do it to the kicker. It was the snapper. Where the snap
Well, I'm assuming the snapper. It was bad snaps, right? It wasn't the kicker's fault. It's bad snaps.
No, it's fucked up.
Bad snaps.
Hey, I'm pulling it up. I'm about to watch it.
Before we jump off this matchup here, Sugandis, you're kind of a little bit of a boomer bust team as well, but it's worked out for you at 7-3. You got to feel good. You actually, I didn't get into the matchup with NJC next week. He plays Papa. We can talk more about that one. But you have Penthouse Pimps, and then we get back into the division. How are you feeling about your could be a playoff run, but how are you feeling about your chances here?
Yeah, no, it really has been boom or bust, man. This exact lineup last week put up like 148. So dropping 84 this week was definitely not. I didn't think that was gonna happen. So that was kind of shocking. But yeah, man, this win was huge. Like I'm trying to keep up with NJC, Quan here. I think I now have the tiebreaker over NJC, like as of right now. So that's big. But yeah, I was looking in the back too, and Pimps was on my ass. Who's coming in second was on my ass. So they were yeah. I mean, still some weeks left, but yeah, no, this win was huge. So yeah, shout out Curse. Broncos, I'm kind of like Curse had the tiebreaker over me, so it's like glass half full and half empty at the same time. So
two comments about that, man. Sugandi's the worst number 2 seed in the history of AGS potentially, and Quan, like, you've rised above, right? You're the cream of the crop. You're looking at these teams that are trying to challenge you for the throne. What do you think of all these 7-3 randos behind you now?
You just have to put it on. I'm just sitting back trying to mind my own business.
It gets real messy after the top seed.
Just trying to sit back, and listen to you guys going through your various struggles.
Oh my God!
It's okay. We still got 4. We still got 4 good weeks left, so it's gonna be good.
Watch out! You don't want to put on the Supreme mask now, Quan. You don't want to be coming up in black.
Not disrespect the fantasy gods. It has been a lot of love. They blessed me all season. Believe that. But
fantasy gods and the LGBTQ community. Shout out to our friends out there.
Community. I guess I'll transition into my game, and I'll be quick about it. But
poor choice of words.
Before I quickly go into it, shout out to we're missing a cast member of this show, Emmett. Happy Veterans Day to him. He's been sick lately. We hope that he pulls through and battles through, but he's going through it. And so to everybody,
all of our thoughts and prayers with you, MK, man. We love you, brother.
Yeah. And happy Veterans Day, man.
Thanks for your service, bro. Get well soon. We're thinking about you, man. Miss you.
And happy Veterans Day to my opponent, the Pimps, who basically, man, it was just from the get-go. That Thursday night 51-50 burger from Joe Burrow, it was pretty much, he was pretty much chasing after that. It was just another, once again, my lineup that, I trusted to start from the beginning, that I drafted to be my starting lineup from the beginning, has just been coming through the last 3 weeks. Everyone's healthy. One thing looking forward is not looking so good is the whole Dallas Cowboys situation, man. Dak Prescott going out not only does it look like the locker rooms are turmoil, the coach is pissing off all the players. CeeDee Lamb can't see in the fucking stadium during the day games. It's just all bad. So those 35, 40-point games from CeeDee Lamb does not look like it's going to be happening. So we'll see how we recover from that.
But Quan, to that point about the lighting, I was shocked to see Jerry Jones' response to that. Right, like clearly the lighting has been fucking terrible
for years.
CeeDee Lamb said 1,000% it impacted me, and they showed it. Like, it's piercing. You know what it reminds me of? I have a $20,000 construction project in my backyard, and you guys come over and we're watching football, and the sun's just beating us down. And immediately I'm like, I should probably put blinds up to stop the sun from coming through. And Jerry Jones is like, what do you want me to do? Tear down the whole stadium and rebuild? No, motherfucker, put something on those windows. And it was funny. I'm at SoFi tonight, and SoFi was perfectly built. They dug a hole in the ground. They put the field real low. The sun and the wind or whatever tonight, it was a night game, comes through very high. It doesn't impact the players at all. So, Jerry, like, you clearly fucked up. Your architect's fucked up. Fix the shit.
Yeah, no, SoFi, the sun never impacts SoFi at all. The sun, I've been there in a pouring rain and did not get wet. And it's pretty much an open stadium. No, SoFi was built perfectly. But I think, didn't he say something about, like, and is the moon going to be a problem too? Really?
Well, Jerry's an OG MAGA. OG. I mean, there's footage of him from the civil rights era.
He was activated this week.
So CD, I've been around for a long time. I've seen a lot of you, CDs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here much longer than you. Take this, son, and take this paycheck.
He's lucky.
You're
He's
lucky I'm
lucky.
paying you. You're lucky I'm paying you, boy.
Right. Like, I'm saying, the way he said that. I'm surprised, boy, or Nig, or Nick Jigboot. Something didn't come out with it because he was.
Like Jigabussy, something like that.
Yeah. What was that?
What was that?
That was terrible.
You upset the fantasy guys with your jokes this week too.
So for listeners who don't know,
WCI, who's here? Jigabussy. You're usually on top of your game, NJ. See what happened this week.
Exactly. NJC, who comes with the major combination jokes with words.
By the way,
Quan came out with the right one like that. I was like, yes, Lewis, that's what I was looking for. NJC, what are you doing?
It was pretty easy. They do have curtains that they put up there for concerts at that Dallas stadium.
Are they made
They're
of
already
beef?
Installed.
Oh, so he said that. He said that, and they actually have a contingency in place to block the sun.
Well, it is Texas, so there are beef curtains. What else would you expect? Jesus Christ. Our wives are coming on in a couple of weeks. Is this actually happening? Where we were talking about beef curtain?
Do we have a
beef curtain?
I don't know what their beef curtains look like anymore.
Do we have a date for that with the wives? So I have to.
I think it's the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk after the
pod. I'll be back.
What? Wait, why?
I'm kidding. It was a Lewis joke. I have a very early meeting the next morning.
My bad. Quan, that's a real concern though. CeeDee Lamb. Maybe it's just the sun. He performed decently with Cooper Rush last year, right? Cooper Rush came out.
He did.
He
averaged double-digit points with Cooper Rush, but he never got those. He does the same, similar to Dak. Of course, he has down games, but with Dak, he has some high ceiling games. So he can get some 30s in there. But
you know what? You can just fucking flex that lip of yours because even with that dude on your bench, you still put up 147.5. God damn it. That's amazing. That's just a true testament to, like you said, your draft day prowess, your overall fantasy football prowess. God bless you.
Thank you.
Well done, Quan. Well done.
Wipe for him after a good hand job like that. That was a good jerk.
Thank you.
I was thinking about that today, man, because there's certain apps that Quan uses, and I've been able to infiltrate the camp and find a little bit about that. But I really want to know, you guys may not know, but Quan attends live podcasts of his favorite fantasy football podcasters. He's got some intel, man, and it's gotten to the point where I feel like he's looking at a crystal ball. He is spot on picks, takes. I joke about loose sources, but like the way that I felt at one point, I felt like I was just like this Zen master. I was sitting next to my fantasy gods. Like I can win all these championships. I know everything. And I've fallen from that. And I can't we'll get to my game. Like and Joe mentioned it on the thread, like we make the wrong decision every single week. And Quan is just nailing it, man. And I want to say the news that came out this week, everyone's labeling this week now, and you got rid of him, Sinkay. Everyone's labeling Caleb Williams as a bust. And Quan called that well before our draft. Yeah, man, Quan's got some magic right now.
Thank you.
Who gave the better hand job? Like, clearly, it was the commish. He used two.
Well, I think because the commish, used both hands and the Hawk Tua. So
I actually just went fingers. I didn't even go full. I just went fingers over the top.
Yeah.
You guys were having so much fun together. I wanted to jump in, man, and just use
you definitely gave Lennon a couple pieces of that gator.
Shout out to the LGBTQ community. We love you guys.
It was funny, man. Seeing that gator with no skin, he looked like he could have been Lewis's brother.
Hey, speaking of which, Nick is frozen for some reason.
He's frozen in laughter.
He was frozen.
That was amazing, dude. That was the best. Oh man!
Wait, the first picture looked like Nick, and the one with the seasoning looked like Lou.
Speaking of which, man, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I know we have our lockdown spot, but if we ever do bring the draft back to LA, wouldn't mind bringing the Cajun theme back again. That's fun.
Well, we've gotten away from it, but we can have viewing parties. It's not against the law. We can host a viewing party. We can have a nice feast. I had one. Have we had another one this season?
No. Yeah, we could maybe closer to the end. I'll host one.
I'll probably host one around my birthday because I'm off the last 2 weeks of the year, so maybe I'll host like a holiday one.
Damn, nice.
Yeah, we've got.
Well, we did get away from it. I match up against the commish this upcoming week. I don't know if you guys are out of town or whatnot. Maybe we can throw something together out here. Maybe chili will be on the menu. I don't know.
That is the annual pilgrimage to Rialto. I think I've made it.
Please tell Elaine that I am coming. I'm on my way, and I have missed her since the last.
Whoa!
Jesus, that's a lot of embedded like innuendo, bro.
Yes.
I missed her.
That is his Filipino sister.
Absolutely. I've missed her. I cannot wait.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Scum, my calendar is completely free on Sunday, so if we're doing it, I will be there. And secondly, man, I saw this video on Instagram where it was these two guys are on this bridge, and he was like, "Give your wife my love," and that's what I gotta find it. I hope I saved it to share with you guys, man. But that's what Quan just sounded like, man, because the guy was like, "What do you mean by that? Like, give my wife?"
Like, damn.
And it just escalated from there, and he was like, and it got to a point where he was like, "So are you saying when I fuck my wife, you want me to tell her it's from you?" And it was this funny skit, man. He was like, yes, tell her that fuck is from me.
Please don't do that, Nick.
Is that from like the league or something?
I'm just saying that was you, Quan. I'm just saying it was this funny skit that reminded me of you giving Elaine your
this
love.
didn't just start here with this comment. This was like
It's been a couple times.
Hey, beautiful. Hey, the fucking Cabo Wabo video, dude.
Yeah.
Quan is the wife swap king.
Anyone in for a exchange?
Elaine holds wifey trophy.
Speaking of exchange, did you guys catch the Penguin this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit. That's a finale, isn't it?
Rest in peace, Victor Aguilar. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Thanks, Scum. I'm on episode 1.
Oh. Well, then just don't watch the replay of this until you're done with the film.
Well, in all fairness,
gotta finish it. That was the finale, though. I gotta finish
season. It had to be.
I'll finish it.
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for this series. They may or may not bring back a second season, but yeah, great series.
It was a good series. I'm just like, where the fuck is Batman at?
Well, he wasn't supposed to be in it.
I get it, but like all this crime is going on, and Batman just is ignoring it for the season.
The director.
We'll find out.
They're trying
Quan is trying to speak.
The director's trying to make it standalone, man. They're trying to make it all. They're hoping to make it standalone and not even incorporate Batman and all that. So we'll see, though. Because
that's why there's no season 2.
If you stay just like that, those ears look like your ears. Stay right.
Before
like that,
NJC diverted to the Penguin, I just have to say that there's a reason that Quan is sending his love to your wife, Scum. It is because we come out to Rialto and we get treated like the kings that we deserve to be treated like, and it's just something that we're not used to at home, unfortunately. And we've passed these notes along to our wives. I mean, and we also noticed it when we're hanging around Jaime's family, man. Like the table's put in front of us, and there's food, and our cup always remains full with drink. We don't have to get up. Everything's done, service with a smile. I mean, it is just it's the best service you can get, man. And we just wish that all wives.
Wow, you are about to get fucking. If this was a popular podcast,
BC, we have told our wives this and throw it in their faces.
I'm just saying, if we had a female, black female, after what happened this week, I
didn't say anything about race.
Yes, you did.
Hold on now.
Did I?
And Nick, what is your?
I was just talking about service.
What did you say? Okay, so is Jaime married to LaQuisha?
Jaime has no wife. I'm talking about the sisters and the aunties and the moms and the grandmas.
Is their last name Jenkins?
Hey, man, I'm just.
Hey Nick,
Some people
where's your
have a
wife
higher
from? Is she
level
from
of
the
customer
south side
service.
of Compton, Philippines?
She is from La Puente. Okay.
Hey, look, we have proof on this podcast of the level of service you get from when you leave the Black community. Look at Sinkei's hair. I mean,
You don't even have to show up, and he's probably getting a pedicure this whole fucking time.
Oh my God.
Seasoned with curry.
Did you say getting or giving? Because I'm not too sure. I don't know.
does Sinkei wear the same hoodie at every podcast we film?
Yes.
It's his comfort
my
blanket.
cozy hoodie.
It's my
He gets wins. His losses becomes wins in those hoodies.
It's the Witching Hour hoodie, man. Yeah, well, speaking of the Witching Hour, Coop, you're riding a win this week. Congratulations to you, man. You shout out to Rudy. He's going through a whole lot, and then you just decided to beat him in fantasy football.
Yeah, I wanted to send a text like, can somebody put Bucky Irving in? I mean,
Yeah, he started an inactive player too. I wonder like how we're going to move forward.
but I didn't want anybody to think I was trying to upset the fantasy gods.
Well, conveniently after this week, all of his roster decisions will be properly managed after this week. Versus the Quan.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Lewis must be doing this because he has so much experience, and since he already let Queef off the hook now, who's fighting for last place. He's in the fantasy gods ICU right now.
He is all but almost has last place sewed up for back-to-backs.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean,
let's not move off of frogs
Okay,
yet.
go ahead.
all I can say is that Emmett's in a tough spot. I actually met with him in person. We had the opportunity to discuss his roster. In the moment, he did pick up a kicker while we were talking, and we discussed the possibility of Nico Collins coming back, and it was told to me out of his mouth, I'm going to address my roster this week. So I let it be. I don't try to make a habit of going in and like managing other people's rosters for anybody in the league. But depending on how things progress with him, we'll see, man. We'll see what if he's going to need some assistance for the rest of the season. Obviously, super bad timing. I mean, this was a terrible week. I mean, think about it, man. I am playing somebody who has no idea what's happening with his roster or this league or this team. And I barely escaped with a win. Like, you know how humbling that is to like, I don't know if you guys can understand. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to say it, PC, man, but I escaped with a W. I think Joey mentioned it with we put too much faith in the Jets. Joey started the Jets defense. I think that's what he was alluding to in the mistakes, learning lessons from this week. Hindsight, man. I mean, I put a waiver in for Aaron Rodgers, 5 points out of the quarterback position, man. I mean, what a nightmare. I started the Falcons against the Saints, another mistake. So I'm just happy to come out with a W. I think what I really wanted to focus in on were these alerts. If you don't mind me pulling these up.
Yeah.
Here it is. All right. So going back to Saturday at 1 p.m. This is me and Rudy combined. All right. Just to give you a little insight into this matchup where no one broke triple digits. Dak Prescott planning to undergo season-ending surgery. That's the alert Saturday at 1 o'clock. Sunday, 9 a.m., the Germany game. Giants wide receiver Malik Neighbors is being evaluated for a concussion. 10:30, Jaguars running back Tank Bigsby is questionable to return with an ankle injury. He never came back, 0 points. Eagles tight end, this is 2 o'clock. Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert is headed to the Blue Medical Tent. 3:19 p.m. Aaron Rodgers is headed to the Blue Medical Tent. 3:52. Breaking news: Texas wide receiver Nico Collins is inactive. 7:35 p.m. Lions tight end Sam Laporta questionable to return with a shoulder injury. Never came back to the game. What the fuck, man? And that's just one game. I don't know who can relate to this, but like that's my season in a nutshell.
It was a week of shitty luck, man. It was a shitty luck week.
I think you're leaving out one alert that came this week. I wanted to get your opinion on. Chuba Hubbard signs a multi-year, big 3-year, I think 3 or 4 year, $30+ million contract with man.
Well, I don't know, man. It's weird because you posted that and like nobody responded, and then we started talking about something else, and you tried to bring it. You're like, "Did you guys not see what I posted? Let's bring it back to this guy." Yeah, he got paid. He's balling. He got paid. No, I don't know, $8 million a year. That's what you should get. I think the Carolina Panthers coach is known for building out a run game. Chuba's balling. I think that it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. When I drafted Jonathan Brooks, that's what I was hoping to see in Dave Canales' offense. And it's rare that a running back has the backfield all to himself. So I assume they'll be splitting carries. Chuba's not going anywhere, so it's not great for Jonathan Brooks' prospects. But there's another running back that you talked about sharing the backfield, Quan. And I think ever since he's been close to about 30 points per game for the past month. And that's Bijan Robinson, who came through my MVP this week, 28.5 points. So, some running backs who are in a timeshare don't do too bad.
No, he's Bijan is balling out for sure. But I feel like if he wasn't sharing that, I don't understand why they keep like this is a second coaching staff, and I'm not no disrespect to you. I'm not saying Bijan is, but Bijan is for the type of talent he is and the draft capital that he is, he needs to be owning those carries like Saquon does and getting those, and like Joe Mixon and them, those 20+ carries. But they keep 2 coaching staffs now have split his carries with this dude Algier. He would be in getting those 30, 40+.
He did have 20 rushing attempts with 116 yards.
And no, Quan, I get your point, man. Saquon's a seasoned vet. Joe's a seasoned vet. Bijan's only in his second year. He's had a pretty good run the last 5 weeks. I think his lowest output was 17.5. His highest this week, 28.5, and everything else fell in between those two. And you know what? Mm-hmm. To my credit, I've stuck with Bijan despite sharing with Tyler Algier. There will never be a Henry report on the Frogs and Bijan. He's only his second year, man. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where he ends up. I
was just about to say that, in reality, I mean, Henry shared a bunch of carries his first 2-3 seasons. In reality, Bijan will eventually be when they're ready just to ride those wheels until they fall off, he'll be getting every single carry, especially on that when he's ready for that contract. But I was wondering if you were going to be a little bit worried about Jonathan Brooks. But
yes. Like that's not ideal. It's not ideal that you have a rookie that you put on a contract that you're hoping to break out, and there's a clear front runner who's looking amazing. So yes, it's not ideal. But there's a few things that are not ideal. I had Garrett Wilson come in as the number 2 ranked wide receiver allegedly this week, 7.5 points. That's not ideal. I have Malik Neighbors, who is being held back by quite possibly the worst quarterback in NFL history. I mean, what quarterback? Daniel Jones has been allowed to be a quarterback for 6 seasons.
Doofy.
And got paid.
He does not deserve this. I mean, the good thing for me with my outlook, I feel like Malik will be a beast. He's shown that he can do it if he ever gets a capable quarterback. And the great thing about the Giants' terrible season is that I think they're the front runners right now for the number 1 pick. So there's got to be a new quarterback coming next season.
And they're always playing from behind, so at least he's going to get air yards and passes and catches. So
what do you know a lot about playing from behind, right, NJC?
Yeah, doggy style is a wonderful position with a beautiful young lady.
Okay.
Good
Thanks for
comeback.
Love
clearing
it.
that up.
Well done.
I don't think that Daniel Jones finishes the season as a starting quarterback.
No, to
and
that point, Quan, and you know why, right?
Yeah.
Because there's this injury. There's guaranteed money if he gets injured. So yeah, they'll probably shut him down pretty soon.
And I wonder if that GM will be back next year because Saquon is killing.
murdering.
Not this week though.
Not this. Yeah, well,
Eagles got the win, not fantasy wise, but
yeah,
he did.
take some, give some.
Hey,
Speaking of doggy style,
Saquon,
no.
really
Speaking
quick-
of doggy style, let's talk about Joe Woomy real quick.
Hey, Quan, hit us with it. What was it? Hit us with it.
What the wussy?
Lucy,
Wussy.
Lucy get Lucy in that wussy.
Wussy.
Congratulations to Voodoo for securing yet another win. So this is win number 2 for him, and he matches up with the Queef Swallowers next week. If he beats Queef Swallowers, I think that locks up a back-to-back last place finish pretty much for Queefs, which hasn't been done since a wussy, maybe. Did a wussy ever finish back-to-back? I believe he did, right?
A wussy has finished back-to-back and has the record for the most name changes.
And, well, technically he didn't get a name change. I think he dodged one of those name changes. I believe he didn't get one of those. I think he's only had foreskin
No,
flavor.
he had 2.
Who's coming inside? Oh, who's coming in me? You're right.
Who's coming
Damn.
in? Foreskin
I think
flavor.
he's had more, at least 3 last place finishes. At least 3.
He was
Your
doing it
point,
so much. That's why we started implementing the freaking last name change.
Yes, we did, because
I
we
wanna
thought he was
hear-
thinking.
If you don't mind, I want to hear from Quan. If Queef Swallower,
Looked like
Up
you
last.
swallowed one.
I swallowed something while I was saying swallower. If he comes in last place 2 years in a row, Quan, let's hear your best defense of Queef Swallower.
The best defense. Hey, the best defense is that he's got a hot rookie in Marvin Harrison under contract. He's got McCaffrey coming back. Looks like if Aaron Rodgers comes, he has a good squad coming back. So
What do
You say Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers with Devontae Adams is back with Aaron Rodgers. So
What? Wait, Quan, he doesn't have a good squad now. How can he have one coming back?
He's gonna have the first round pick. He's gonna have the first pick of the
he'll
first
have
round.
another first round pick with Marvin Harrison. Is
I'm
nice.
sorry. This is the question Frogman to ask you. If he has a first round pick, do you help him again with it?
Right. Does he pick it on his own or does he get advice from
He manages his own team. Okay, he will make his own pick.
Man,
Are you happy with advising him to pick Marvin Harrison or should he have went a different route?
Nobody in AGS would not have taken Marvin Harrison as the number 1 overall pick, and he will. Regardless. He may not be the top rookie wide receiver in his class, but he will be a wide receiver 1 for many years, and to have him under contract is a plus.
All right, but if he's not the top rookie in his class, then he was essentially a bust number 1 pick.
that's a solid point.
Yeah, but it's no fault to him. You would have took him number 1. I would have took him number 1. I would have surely taken him number 1. And I don't think he's a bust. He's just not. He's not.
He's not living up. He's not living up to AGS draft standards.
I would love to have him as under a 4-year contract. That's the point. He has a number 1 wide receiver on a 4-year contract, and he's going to build from that. So that's what it's all about.
What about moves like dropping Dallas Goedert and picking up Zach Ertz? What about moves like that? How do you defend?
Rookie moves, not quite truly a vet in fantasy football. I see a lot of patterns that he does too that reminds me of like just not being really seasoned in fantasy football. Like he will pick up players and start them that had a great game the week before. Like, oh man, this dude put up 21 points, like some no-name guy, and pick him up off of waivers and start him. Like, no, dude, that was an anomaly. It's not, that was the exception, not the norm. But when you're new to fantasy football or not that quite seasoned, you do things like that.
And speaking of collusion, this is just maybe completely coincidental, but there was a Juwan Jennings drop by the Quan this week, and immediately I get a phone call from Queef Swallower. Hey, can you slide Juwan Jennings onto my roster? Just pure coincidence, Quan?
Oh,
Pure coincidence.
Mm.
Nah, I'll tell a story about Juwan Jennings.
Okay.
So, because I think partially this is goes to show that there is benefits in having relationships with other players in this league. So he's struggling now with wide receiver, and he sees my roster, sees that clearly I'm holding Juwan Jennings on basically in the IR spot, and he's not injured. He's questionable, and it was pretty much clear that he was going to start. So I was going to have to drop somebody. He looks at my roster. He says, "Hey, are you planning on dropping anybody this week? Who are you going to drop?" And I was like, I really just don't need another receiver. I'm probably going to drop Jennings. And so I said, but I'm going to wait till Sunday to see if Brian Thomas Jr. is going to actually suit up, which he did. So that was the only conversation we had. And
that's enough to fucking say it's collusion, motherfucker. You
That-
knew Juwan Jennings was going to hit the fucking waiver wire before anybody else. I'm sorry, what's the definition of insider trading?
If you called me and said, "Hey Lou, I'm seeing do you plan on dropping somebody? Who do you plan on dropping?" And this
dropping these nuts, motherfucker. That's what you're gonna say.
No, it's happened many times with other owners that's had.
It's never happened with me, with anybody.
You have texted me yourself about asking me who I'm going to add on waiver wires.
And did you adding on waiver wires, adding a player that's not already on your team in a draft order is different than having a conversation with someone saying who you're going to drop, fool.
But first of all, it wasn't immediate either. He didn't add.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
my bad. That's what it was.
Because actually, that whole concept of dropping an immediate ad, the whole reason we added that you had to use a waiver when that happens is because of the collusion between you and the Slurps.
Oh, is that how you
guys have done that multiple times? All of a sudden, somebody drops somebody, and one of the Slurps immediately, not a point second after it pops up, is hitting up Lennon to add it. And that
not only was that a great deflection, it sounds like that's how you learn the blueprint.
Lennon added immediate to add to the story, but it did not immediately happen. He didn't add.
Okay, how about this? When you play this back this week, you're going to hear the collusion that you agreed to as you told the story, and everybody on the window heard it.
I told the story in confidence because it goes
confidence on the podcast.
Because it's not collusion. It's not collusion.
He's confident that it's not collusion. Not in confidence. Yeah.
Hey, okay. Hey,
he's also 1-8, so he needs a little collusion.
It doesn't matter.
1-8, 8-1.
Good part about it that I was happy to see is Juwan Jennings actually had a good game. He's looking like he's going to be a good receiver. So I'm happy that he was able to.
You know what? I'm happy you gave him a receiver this year without stealing
fleecing him for a 4th round pick.
Right.
Yeah. Did we already ask Quan what size ring he gets Queef Swallower if he wins the title? Is it a pinky ring?
I think it's size cock.
Man, I was headed there after you. Pause.
Le cock.
First of all, if I do win the title, which is really, really hard to do, it won't.
Hey, I think that if I get another championship, I'm going to get a championship cock ring. That's
you'll probably show it to us on the podcast.
And mind you, Juwan Jennings wasn't even a waiver ad for me.
Juwan Jennings was
all right. Enough of Juwan Jennings. T. Ruth mopped the floor with Queef Swallower, and Queef Swallower, for as bad as he is, still managed to score 29 more points than who's coming in second. Take it as you will. T. Ruth is 7-3. He's going to match up against NJC next week. That's a big time 7-3, 7-3. The son versus the father, the Shakespearean shit.
Here we go.
We are wondering, and by we I mean me, what's the level of shit talking going to look like on the thread this week? You've really peppered us. You called me like seasoned mayo. I don't know what you called me. A fucking le baguette. we got the troll fantasy god message thread this week. What's week 11 gonna look like? Is it just gonna be all praises due? What's it gonna look like?
All praises due Jesus. Again, I'm going to embody the idea of authentic humility. I'm going to set my lineup as best as I can, and I'm going to deliver on the best opposition I can provide the counselor. That was a very good way to set me up to see how authentic the humility was. You threw a lot of jabs in there, but I feigned, I ducked. Hopefully I looked like Mike Tyson on Friday. But I mean, as you guys know, the counselor is not a opponent to overlook. So I do know that Connor is on bye week, so I do get hopefully a little bit of a break in that position. But otherwise, while I'm enjoying Lamar, I've got to watch King Henry really use that 5th round pick. So, we'll see what happens.
Speaking of the Tyson fight on Friday, if no one in AGS is hosting, I have I've been invited to a party thrown by one of our fraternity brothers. If anyone would like to join, feel free. It's going to be in Carson. The food spread's going to be amazing. If anybody would like to join.
Is it kid friendly?
That's at 5 p.m. Pacific, right? Sorry about that. My bad.
No, it's cool.
Go ahead, DC.
I don't know what time it's starting. I know it's on Netflix. I'll get back.
I think it's 5 Pacific.
5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. But I think it's so many undercards. I think it's going to push. The main event should be around 7, 8-ish.
7.
It is not kid friendly, NJC.
Okay,
sorry.
cool. Well, I'll be here. So
I'm gonna be working, man. Watching it on my cell phone.
That should be fun.
Predictions? Is it Tyson all the way? Anybody?
Oh, wait. We're doing Tyson predictions now. I was hoping to end the podcast with.
Oh, no, for sure. We can push it.
I just want to get through these. Your matchup, we got you. Siebert and I, we go head to head. I think I've beaten you the last 3 times. I'm not feeling too great about this matchup here. I'll let you know what the chili cook-off situation looks like, and that invitation will be extended league-wide. Quan, you've got Rudy. You're bringing your circus to town. Please understand the circumstances here and maybe approach this with some humility, okay? By the way, this is a convenient week for NJC to exercise humility. I just want to point that out. He decided this is the week he's going to be humble. This is when it starts. Okay.
No shit. He didn't even address the question of what is the level of shit talking going to be.
He did the dodging and jabbing.
I mean, the counselor doesn't really talk a lot of shit.
Papa, you know I love you.
Look at the face. Look at the R&B face with the salt and pepper beard. He's doing it. He's doing it. Ace and K, I need you to do me a favor, okay? Because it looks like you're sitting there doing community customer service in India. Can you hand me a Slurpee? I'm quite parched under this goddamn fucking mask.
Dude, it's funny that you say that because literally every time I walk into a 7-Eleven, they always ask me like where I'm from. I'm like,
they start talking to you. They tell you to go in the back and get the fucking cookies.
Like you're late. I'm like, I don't
No.
And Jules is like, no, it's me. I'm your sister, not him. Me.
Oh, that is
impossible. Sugandis, you got the vet, you got Penthouse Pimps. That's also not a walk in the park. You don't know which version of his team will show up.
I don't know which version of my team will show up. Shit.
Well, you had the downswing this week, so next week should be some sort of triple digit score. We already mentioned West Coast Voodoo and the Toilet Bowl matchup. This is really critical for the Toilet Bowl. Big matchup here with the Queef Swallower. And then the Curse and Who's coming in second. And wouldn't you know that this is the week that this motherfucker triples his score and puts up 175.
I hope fucking so. Get him back for me. Get him back for me. Who's coming in second?
All right. So with the last few minutes, we got the big Tyson Jake Paul matchup on Friday. I hope it's a legit fight. I hope it's not a sham. I would love to see Tyson lay this dude out. Nobody, at least nobody of our generation, and maybe even Sin K, younger generation, wants to see Tyson lose this fight. I don't want to see him fucking lose. That's crazy.
I mean, is it going to be competitive?
I think that Jake Paul wins this fight, and I think that they dance around. It's going to be like the Mayweather Conor McGregor fight. I think it's going to be some little sparring. They haven't announced whether or not it's a exhibition or is it an exhibition or is it an actual?
It's a real fight. It's going to count on their records. Mike Gerard Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966. He is 58 years old going into this fight.
Yeah, I hope he uses all 58 of those years and brings back Kid Dynamite and just pops this guy one time.
The way you teed that up, Lennon, who's your pick for the fight?
Tyson is my favorite fighter of all time. My most vivid memories as a kid is like going with my mom to fight parties and being in the kids' room and just seeing the excitement, man. I'm a big fan of Tyson, man. I hope he mops the floor with him, but I think it's just, it's Mike Tyson, but it's still, he's almost 60 years old, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird watching it, but I'm hoping, I hope he wins. I put my money on Mike. I'm not putting my money on a YouTuber.
Especially this week.
If you had to put your house on it.
Gosh, man. I might be homeless with a Mike Tyson shirt on.
And divorced.
So
kids gone, wife gone. It's all gone. Thanks, Mike. From the young man's
what say you,
perspective.
Lou? What say you, Lou? Who you taking for the fight? You said Jake?
Yeah, Jake. It's the same thing. I love Mike Tyson. Don't want to see him lose. And I really don't want to see Jake Paul talk shit after the win as if he really did something. But I think Jake Paul wins this fight. He doesn't really take fights that he can't win. He takes the fights that he can make money off of and still win. But he doesn't, I think they're disrespecting. He is still a decent amateur boxer, and 58 years old it's too much, man.
Okay.
What was the oldest George Foreman was when he came back and like won?
What he like 51 or 52?
No, he was in his early 40s. I think he won at like
early
40s. Yeah, it was early 40s.
He said his last fight. He said.
He came back.
Yeah, he came back that last time after he had the.
He came back in his early 40s. He came back.
It says right here, quick Google search, shout out to Google Gemini. George Foreman was 38 when he announced his comeback to professional boxing in 1987 after a 10-year absence.
Mm-hmm. So he wasn't that old.
How long did he retire for after that? Yeah, I mean, he said early 40s.
Yeah, he went on to win the WBA and IBF World Heavyweight titles in 94. So that was fucking 7 years later. So he's 46.
45.
45.
That's right here, 40. Yeah, 46. So he just
not 58.
Yeah.
No.
By 58, he was just slinging grills.
He was the marijuana is going to keep Tyson young. So we're good.
Who are you taking, Nick?
Actually, was 45 in 360 days. So he might as well have been.
Okay. Sorry about that. We rounded up on that one. I'm going to take Mike Tyson. I'm going to say that it's going to be. Maybe it should be Jake Paul winning this one, but I feel like he's going to get the eye of the tiger, and it's just going to be a little. Right here, a little good night medicine.
If it's a real fight that they're saying it is, what about you, Sinkay?
That's what I was about to say. If it's like a real fight, like not some, just for the clicks bullshit, then I think Tyson gets it because even in his old age, man, I think he bops the floor with Jake Paul. The last 5 Jake Paul fights have been, they take dives in the first round, and then that's that. So.
I feel like fighting Tyson in his late 50s is equivalent to fighting any other boxer in their late 30s.
Shout out Chat GPT. George Foreman was 48 years old during his last boxing victory. 1997, he beat a 26-year-old named Lou Savarese.
Sweet Lou.
Yeah, and remember what George looked like, man. I mean, he looked really old.
And that's his last win, so he may have fought into his 50s.
No, I think sure. His last fight, I think it was like Shannon Briggs or something like that, and that actually was a controversial loss. He actually won that fight. I think it was one of those Don King shams. Don King was just ready to get rid of Foreman. He wasn't bringing in the crowd anymore, but he had actually won that fight, and he got shammed in a decision.
Yeah, early 2000s lines up with the Foreman Grill. Really,
it was that same year. 48 years old against Shannon Briggs, November 22nd, 1997. He fought Shannon Briggs 3 weeks after he fought Lou Savarese.
Again, the Foreman Grill really
that money. That is old school right there. But I remember watching that fight. Well, I remember that fight vividly because after he got shammed, he like thanked God and he was not at all affected by it. And he was just basically like, I'm done with boxing, but thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Foreman Grills, man. They fucking every dorm room I knew, any respectable dorm room had a fucking Foreman Grill. Come on, man. How else were you cooking?
I lived off a Foreman Grill for quite a while.
Fuck yeah. Shout out Foreman Grill.
Yeah, man. I had steaks and chicken breast popping in college, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Crackling. Just sizzling on that motherfucker.
Okay, you ever use a Foreman Grill?
Nah, got good old air fryers now.
Air fryers in the dorm room?
Got good old air fryers and curry and all types of beautiful dishes for everybody to enjoy.
Not in the dorm room. I don't know. We had like some like knockoff.
We had some knockoff, but everything was very good, very made in India. So we know it was very strong, very good.
That's probably the best story. One of the best stories I heard on the podcast. Yeah, whenever I walk into a fucking 7-Eleven, they yell at me for being late for my shift.
They hand you your 7-Eleven smock and say, "Get to work, Syed. What are you doing?"
Wow, man, that's fucking crazy. On that note, I think we shut the podcast down. Week 10 recap out here with defending champs NJC, with the 4-time champ, the Commish, with Quan, with the Sugandis. I'm Rebel Scum. We'll catch y'all motherfuckers next week.
Hey, thanks for your service. Love you, MK.
Please like and subscribe.